The Japan Ground Self-Defense Force, or as mentioned is JGSDF, is the army of the country of Japan and falls under the Japan Self-Defense Force, which was formed in 1954 following the end of World War II and at the end of the Korean War. Now, the Japan Self-Defense Force primarily does not take part in many overseas military actions like, NATO forces, but there has been recent talks in recent years to reestablish their global mission. The main security threat that is posed towards the JSDF and the ground force as well would be the Chinese expansion due to the dispute over the Senkaku Islands and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, the DPRK, doing missile tests. In 2020, the Japan Self-Defense Forces acquired the Howa Type 20 5.56 by 45mm rifle as their new weapon to replace the venerable and famed Howa Type 89, which is yet another 5.56 by 45mm rifle. Alright, so they don't have the Howa Type 20 in-game, sadly. However, we do have a candidate to remake the weapon. The MCR, which is based on the ACR, can be somewhat replicated to resemble a Type 20. This is the final build, and the spray camo used on this is just a plain black spray camo, nothing special. But here it is compared to an actual Type 20. There's going to be some differences, but for the most part it does give a general appearance to the Howa Type 20, as seen in a few of these pictures that are shown. The loose cannon blueprint was chosen for the P890 because one of the Minebia P9s in service with the Japanese Self-Defense Force does have a tape on the frame. P890 is obviously 45. The Minebia is a 9mm, but they're both based on the SIG P220. Now, the Japanese Self-Defense Force adopted it in 1982, and they adopted the Swiss version known as the Pistol 75, which is 9mm, while the 45 ACP version, the P220, came later. However, it was replaced around 2020 by the H&K SFP9, but since that's not in the game, the P890 was chosen for the sidearm. Now, despite the Minebia being a 9mm, it still does have the standard 8-round magazine, because that's what the Pistol 75 had. So that is why I looked at the 10-round, but then I decided not to go with it, just to stay with the realistic closest resemblance to a P9 that we are able to get in game. Again, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I try to cover military loadouts that aren't commonly seen, and I thought the Japanese Self-Defense Forces was kind of a unique one. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and with that said, defend Mount Fuji at all costs.